So fear is still love. Love is still fear. So stop beating yourself up about being so fearful. Reframe and know that you're still coming from a place of love and that you have the wisdom and tools and truth inside of you. Bang! What's up, everyone? Class is in session today. I got my whiteboard thanks to my dude Rhett. Thank you, homie, for letting me borrow this. But today's session is if you want to make more decisions out of love instead of fear, then this is what you're going to get out of our little session today. We're going to be discussing polarity and half-truths. But when you understand how fear and love works, you can have more compassion for yourself. You can have compassion for others. You understand your own psychology, others' psychology, the esoterics of it, the nuance of it, the truth and the not truth of it. So, cue the intro and let's go. All right, y'all, let's get into this bad boy. So, behind me, I have a couple papers, so ignore these. I have words behind them that I will reveal later. But I'm going to I want to start with a quote. So what you see on your screen, it says, "Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. Extremes meet, all truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled." My favorite point of this is really important, is opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. So this is really what we're going to focus on today with fear and love. But today you can see we're going to discuss hot and cold here. So cold, hot. And we're going to discuss vibration, all the fun things. So this is really, really, really good. So opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. So I want you to think about hot and cold for a minute. Because usually when you think about hot and cold, you think these are opposites, right? You think that literally hot is opposite of cold, which you are correct. However, I want you to think about water in its hot and cold form. When water is really, really cold, what does it do? It turns to ice. When water is really, really, really hot, it starts to boil and then it evaporates, it turns into gas. So the importance, the incredible just fascination, but so much clarity of this is exactly how polarity works. Because it exists, but it doesn't exist. All paradoxes may be reconciled. All truths are but half-truths. Because when you think about hot and cold, it's identical in nature but different in degree. And when I love using water, and just so you guys know, this is a quote from a book called The Kabbalion or The Kabbalion. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. People pronounce it differently, but definitely recommend the read. So when you think about water, the water molecule, when it is cold, it's moving in a wave like this. And then as it gets to hot, the wave gets bigger and bigger, and of course, the farther along you go, the wave is going to be bigger. So this literally represents vibration. This represents everything. So with water specifically, when hot water or any water, the water molecule is always vibrating. It's always moving. Even when something's cold, even when something's literally frozen. When you think about ice, a water molecule is the same in ice as it is in gas or boiling. They're just moving faster, there's more space. They're vibrating more when you go from cold to hot. So, this is going to be important for fear and love. So it's really important to know this, is because when you think about polarity, you usually think they are completely different things. Like cold isn't hot, they are completely different. Not the case. They are the same thing, right? They're literally a degree. So this example is perfect to understand any other thing in life. any other polarity, when it's like noisy or quiet, easy, difficult, hot, cold, fear, love, or fear and courage, they're the same, okay? So it's really important, and it's understanding how water works is a perfect way to parallel this and compare this to any other aspect of life. So, to quickly recap, cold and hot, the exact seemingly opposites, but they are identical in nature, literally just different in degree and vibration. Boom. Okay. Now let's take these little things off. I feel so prepared. Okay, cool. So this is going to be, now, with fear and love, it's going to be the same thing. So with fear, your vibration is slow, it's constricted. Literally, when you think about like the fetal position, you're constricting, right? That's fear. It's fight or flight, it's freeze, it's constricting. You're just trying to protect yourself. When you think about love and courage, right? Like you're expansive, you're out, you're in the world, much different body language. So this is important because you can see cold and hot work the same as fear and love. They are opposites, yes, and they are also identical in nature but different in degree. I'll tell you a story. So with a client I worked with one time, he lived 5+ decades of hiding a big truth from his family. And this was out of fear. He was afraid that he was going to, be rejected, be exiled, and his family wasn't going to love him anymore. That he couldn't get along, and just terrible fear. I know a lot of people can relate. You don't want to tell someone the truth, so you form a whole life and lies around it. However, a big breakthrough for him was when I asked him, well, fear is protection, right? It is a ping in your brain to protect you from something, in this case, from harm, from ridicule, from rejection of his family. So, slow vibration. However, you would think that, well, hey dude, you're not loving yourself, that's not coming from a place of love. Yes, and it's both fear and love. Let's break this down more. So he was trying to protect himself, right? But also, what is protection? Protection is a form of love. You can't separate these two. They are identical in nature, but literally different in degree. So this is really important when you're working with fear and love, or any polarity, because now you know these are the same, but different. So anytime you have a fearful thought, you also have a trace of love in there. And it's important to break this through with this client is he realized oh damn, I do love myself. I've been trying to protect myself, which is a form of love. Yes, I was acting out of fear, but there's also love in there. So that's important for you, because when you're just beating yourself up and shaming and feeling guilty and just, oh my God, life, what am I doing to myself again and again? I'm such a failure. Why am I doing this to myself? Ugh. There's also a trace of love in there. So when you understand that, you can have compassion for yourself. You can have compassion for others when others act out of fear or hate. Is because they think they're doing what's best, which is a form of love, right? So, and why it's important to understand this is so you can operate from these higher wavelengths, these higher vibrations, because that's a completely different discussion, but literally, know, the main takeaway from this discussion is know that these are the same, but different. And it's important for your breakthrough so you can know that. Fear is trying to protect you, even though it's out of scarcity or hurt, it's also a form of love. Operating out of fear, it doesn't mean it's ideal, it doesn't mean you want to keep doing this for the rest of your life, but now with this insight, you can see that what you seek is already within you. You are already everything you're trying to be. Nothing is wrong with you. So acting out of fear, you can find the love in there. It's literally the same wavelength. It's of the same thing. It's just a different vibration. It's a different perspective. It's a different belief. So, literally next time, just ask yourself, am I acting out of fear and/or love, and choose the highest vibration so you can go from less fear to more love. And even you could make a different case, is that even with a lot of love, it comes with fear. Like making a decision to be with the love of your life. You have a fear that you don't want to lose them, right? That's also love. And also, like, for me, I'm so motivated to go to the gym because I love myself, I love this body, I love being healthy, I love being active. And also, it's a fear so I don't get sick, so I don't waste this lifetime, so I don't get tired and sluggish. Why am I pursuing my passion? Because I fear not doing it. Like, I fear not doing the thing more than I fear doing the thing. So fear is still love. Love is still fear. So stop beating yourself up about being so fearful. Reframe and know that you're still coming from a place of love and that you have the wisdom and tools and truth inside of you. Bang! Woo! Woo! All right. I think that's it. Actually, no, that's not it. I want to give you one more example. So to visualize this even more. Okay, you have a circle. Say this is the Earth, right? You have the North and the South Pole, literally speaking, on Earth. I'll use a different color. There's a line that runs, there's a straight line that runs through that. Literally, our physical plane has polarity. When we get to a certain level of consciousness, if you look back to the hot and cold or fear and love, when your vibrations get so higher, that's a higher level of consciousness. When ice, that's density. You have to think about that. Like when you're dense and cold and hard, you're not moving, you're not free. But the more you free your wavelength, you literally turn into gas, into a higher dimension, into a greater consciousness. That's pretty cool too. So when you think about our physical plane, yes, it has polarity, it has opposites, but they are truths. All truths are but half truths, right? So why I show this is because even polarity on the Earth, in the very physical plane of our existence, you could think about, you could label this anything. So you could label North fear. You could label it cold, right? And you could label this love or hot, whatever. Just opposites, polarities, anything you want to put in there. Why is this important? Well, you have to remember they're of the same line. So when I draw the squiggly lines, they're the same line. They're identical in nature, different in degree. Same thing with any opposite. This line up here is still the line down here. And if you look at the circle, it's going in circles, right? There's a flow, there's a rhythm to it. Going back to the wavelength, to the vibration, there's a rhythm to it. So these are connected right here. This pole and this pole are connected on the same line, through the circle, through this. It's all connected. So they're opposites, but they're not opposites. Opposites are identical in nature but different in degree. Extremes literally meet. Extremes literally meet. All truths are but half-truths. All paradoxes may be reconciled. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe. Leave a comment. This is my first video doing something like this, so tell me if you want more of this. Tell me if you want more discussions / lectures like this. Comment all the YouTube things. You know what to do. Share it with a friend. I don't know, but I appreciate you being here. You being engaged in this, watching things like this, already says a ton about you. It really does, of how amazing you are. So I appreciate you being here. Until next time, my friends. I love you. I believe in you. Yeah.